In the 3rd year of my marriage to Ehan, I became pregnant. That day, after my relentless persuasion, Ehan accompanied me to the hospital for my prenatal checkup. While we were still waiting in line, Ehan took a call. "Grace, there's something at the company I need to handle. But you promised to stay for my entire prenatal checkup. Sweetie, just listen to me." With just that phrase, he abandoned me, a pregnant woman, at the hospital. And that night, Ehan didn't come home. I found out later that it was Chloe's birthday that day. I first met Chloe when Ehan took me to his college reunion. As soon as we walked in, everyone turned to look. "Isn't that Mr. Ehan? Is this your wife beside you? When did Mr. Ehan get such a beautiful wife? Introduce her to us." Ehan and I had a rushed wedding. Hardly anyone even knew we got married. "Mr. Ehan, is this your new girlfriend?" Chloe asked, swirling the red wine in her glass, a playful smile on her lips. "Chloe, Grace is a girl I just met recently, not yet an official girlfriend." Ehan's words completely stunned me. After 3 years of marriage to him, I wasn't even considered his girlfriend in front of this woman. I swallowed my confusion and anger, looking at this woman named Chloe. Seeing this woman who looked so much like me, I suddenly understood something. Fighting back the sharp pain in my chest, I slowly turned my head to look at Ehan, my gaze fixed on him. Ehan didn't seem prepared to explain anything to me. He pulled Chloe down to sit. He chatted and laughed with his classmates, leaving me completely ignored. I felt my self-respect being trampled, my heart aching immensely. I just sat there alone, feeling utterly foolish. Suddenly, Ehan's roar pulled me back to reality. "Mason, if you lay another hand on Chloe, I swear I'll make you regret it." "Mr. Ehan, Chloe already broke up with you. What's it to you if I touch her? Besides, you already have a new girlfriend. Who the hell told you she's my new girlfriend? Yend? Well, I'm telling you now, Chloe, I'm taking her tonight." Smash! The wine bottle shattered over Mason's head, and blood trickled down his cheek. Ehan fought someone for Chloe, yet when I was harassed at the barbecue stand, he just stood there and did nothing. Worried might get hurt, I stepped forward and pulled him. "Ehan, stop fighting. Let's go home. Who are you to tell me what to do?" Seeing being humiliated, Ehan was like a mad dog, lashing out at anyone. "Ehan, don't fight for me. My heart was breaking seeing you get hurt," Chloe said, then embraced Ehan. Ehan didn't push her away, he held her tightly, protecting her. Damn it. He completely ignored my presence. I wanted to strangle Chloe, but I was a coward. No, this wasn't the time. Just wait. What goes around comes around, sooner or later, karma will catch up to you. Eventually, Ehan stopped fighting at Chloe's persuasion, though he had sustained several injuries. Chloe carefully straightened his disheveled clothes. My heart ached for his injuries, so I wanted to pull him to the hospital to get patched up quickly. "Ehan, let me go with you to the hospital to bandage your wounds." "No need. Chloe and I will go together. You can go home first." And that night, Ehan didn't come home again. That night, I lay alone in bed. I typed divorce him then deleted it, over and over, torn by extreme inner turmoil. But in the end, I couldn't bring myself to send it. I couldn't help but recall when Ehan and I first got together. He had been hospitalized with severe injuries, and I happened to be his nurse. Taking care of him every day, watching him, gradually I didn't even realize when I'd fallen for him. I only remember that when he was discharged, I unexpectedly blurted out that even if his condition improved, there was a high chance of a relapse. He'd need a doctor by his side to ensure he was safe. And that day, Ehan was unusually gentle. Maybe he truly believed my words, or maybe he truly loved my face. We started living together after that day. After that, Ehan was like a model husband, he was exceptionally good to me. He even said he'd make up for everything he owed me. But at the time, I was so lost in the comfort of his affection that I didn't fully grasp the meaning of his words. But then, somehow, he changed. He started getting impatient with me, complaining that my clothes were ugly and my cooking was bad. I thought it was because his company was going through a rough patch, and the stress was getting to him, which made him treat me this way. So I struggled and tried to heal in his indifference. And the thought of leaving became increasingly difficult to suppress. The next day, Ehan returned as if nothing had happened. "Grace, something unexpected came up at the company last night. I forgot to tell you not to wait up for me." "I didn't wait for you. I fell asleep early. I actually sleep better when you're not around." "Grace, are you still mad at me? Yesterday, Chloe and I were just playing a role. Can't you even trust me that little bit?" I didn't reply. I knew saying anything more would only lead to another argument. Seeing my sullen face and silence, Ehan started to panic a little, knowing that sometimes when I got angry, I didn't hold back. Grace, don't be mad. It's your birthday the day after tomorrow, and I'll prepare a big surprise for you. It'll definitely please you. Consider it my apology, okay? I nodded without speaking, implicitly agreeing to Ehan's suggestion. On my birthday, Ehan left early in the morning, saying that produce at the grocery store was fresher if you went early. He was going to cook for me himself and show off his skills. Seeing his eagerness to please, I even forgot the unpleasantness of the past 2 days. Little did I know, his true intention was for Chloe. Grace, look how plump these shrimp are. Today I'm going to make you garlic butter shrimp. This fish is perfect. It's best for spicy fish stew. Ehan chattered on, pointing at the groceries he'd just bought. I looked at the various seafood Ehan was carrying. A nameless anger flared inside me, because he knew I didn't eat seafood, yet he bought so much of it. Unless it wasn't for me. Just as the food was almost ready, the doorbell rang. Ehan rushed to open the door, not even bothering to check on the soup simmering on the stove. Sure enough, Chloe walked in behind Ehan, carrying a cake. Happy birthday, Grace. I'm sorry about the last gathering, it was my fault. Ehan shouldn't have gotten carried away with me. I'm really sorry. I've already told Ehan that he can't just ignore everything when he sees me being bullied. At the very least, he should consider your feelings. He's just such a typical guy. Oh, and you wouldn't believe it, Ehan's classmates all said you were my stand-in that day. You look so much like me. But thank you, Grace. I haven't been around Ehan these past few years, so thank you for taking care of him for me all this time. She smiled sweetly at me, but her smile sickened me. I smiled back at her. It's only natural for a wife to take care of her husband. There's no need for an outsider like you to thank me. Rather, you. Last time, I actually overheard my husband's friends calling you the other woman behind your back. Don't take it to heart, though. While the other woman sounds a bit harsh, it's certainly better than dying of anger, wouldn't you agree? Chloe's face twisted in anger. Seeing the tense atmosphere, Ehan walked over. Grace, how can you talk to Chloe like that? Apologize. Seeing that I wasn't budging, Ehan glared at me then pulled Chloe down to sit. At the dinner table, Chloe took a bite of shrimp and said, Wow, Ehan, your shrimp is so delicious. Her voice dragged on, with a deliberately exaggerated lilt. And, as expected, didn't disappoint. He peeled a large shrimp and handed it to Chloe. Chloe, I know you used to love shrimp, so I made this especially for you today. Great. So, he was using my birthday as an excuse to cook for this manipulative woman. My appetite vanished instantly. The two of them looked more like a couple. I felt like the third wheel. Suddenly, Chloe somehow noticed the ring on my hand. Grace, the ring you're wearing is the wedding ring Ehan was going to give me. Now, it's time it was returned to its rightful owner, wouldn't you say? Saying this, she stood up and grabbed my hand, trying to take the ring off. I instantly flared with rage. How dare she be so aggressive in my own home? Who does she think she is? I swung my other arm forcefully, landing a sharp slap across her face. Chloe stared at me in disbelief. She seemed not to have expected me to hit her. Without a word, she grabbed the cake nearby and threw it at me. The cake box was hard, cutting my cheek, and blood trickled down my face. I was a mess, covered in cake. And, seeing my disheveled state, was barely suppressing the upward curl of his lips. His expression felt like a knife twisting in my heart. I raised my hand to throw a plate, but Ehan caught my wrist, and the plate shattered on the floor. Grace, try to touch her again, I dare you. Seeing the man I loved protect an outsider like that, I trembled with rage. My heart ached uncontrollably. I broke free and ran to the bathroom, looking at my cake-covered self in the mirror. My eyes instantly welled up, red-rimmed and filled with tears, my lips trembling slightly. I tried to force a smile at my reflection, to tell myself it was okay, but as soon as my lips moved, large tears began to fall. From outside, I could hear their laughter and chatter. Faintly, I thought I heard Ehan say, Happy birthday, Chloe. So this was the big surprise Ehan had prepared for me. What should have been a nice birthday was ruined by Chloe. Infuriated, I walked out of the bathroom and pointed at Ehan. You two just wait. I'll make you both regret this, you hear me? With that, I stormed out, slamming the door behind me. Downstairs, perhaps. The cold air hit me, and I calmed down. Why should I be the one to leave? This is my home. If anyone's leaving, it should be the other woman. So I rushed back upstairs. As soon as I walked in, I saw an infuriating sight. Chloe was sitting on Ehan's lap, her arms wrapped around his neck, as Ehan fed her a peeled shrimp. Seeing me return, Chloe quickly got off Ehan's lap and didn't say a word, but gazed at me defiantly. Grace, didn't you leave? Why are you back? Or perhaps you just can't bear to be without me? His smug expression utterly disgusted me. Why should I leave? This is my house. You two should be the ones to get out. Because when we bought this house, Ehan was completely infatuated with me, so the deed was in my name. I paid for this house. Why is it yours? Because you cheated on me while we were married. Cheating? Which eye did you see me cheating with? Where's your proof? He was right, I didn't have any proof. Ehan's words left me speechless. Exactly. Ehan paid for this house. You're just squatting here, refusing to leave. Chloe added fuel to the fire from the side. I slowly clenched my fists and gave a faint smile. I gritted my teeth against the throbbing pain in my head and stormed out again, slamming the door. But as soon as I reached the bottom of the stairs, my vision blurred, and I collapsed. At the hospital, I lay in the hospital room, but Ehan wasn't the one taking care of me. He didn't even know I'd fainted. A passerby had brought me to the hospital. Grace, how many times have I told you? You can't get angry with your condition. When you get angry, your blood pressure spikes, which could rupture a weak spot in an aneurysm, leading to subarachnoid hemorrhage. In severe cases, it could. Oh, why don't you ever listen? The woman in front of me said earnestly, just like I used to plead with Ehan about smoking. Olivia, I know I shouldn't get angry, but those despicable people just make me furious. I advise you to divorce him. Soon, for your own sake and for the baby's. What good would divorce do? I know my own condition, my mom passed away the same way back then. But you can't just let those two scumbags get away with this easily. They need to pay for what they've done. And don't go back home for a while. Stay at my place for now, so it'll be easier for me to take care of you. I still need to go back once. Ehan said I didn't have proof of his cheating when we argued, so this time I'll go back to get the evidence and move my things out. How will you get the evidence? Just tell me if you need my help. I plan to install a pinhole camera by the headboard in my bedroom. I was sure those two scumbags would do something indecent in the bedroom, and then I'd save all that evidence. Alright, leave the camera to me. Get some good rest these 2 days. Later, I'll help you move your things to my place. Thank you, Olivia. A week quickly passed, and during that time, Ehan hadn't sent me a single message. It was as if my disappearance was completely normal to him. When I arrived at my house, it was already 9 in the evening. Only when I tried to open the door did I realize the lock's password had been changed. Standing at the entrance to my own home, unable to get in, a nameless rage flared within me again. Seeing my expression, Olivia comforted me. Maybe you typed it wrong? Try it a few more times. After failing 5 times in a row, my desire to strangle Chloe grew even stronger. Suppressing my fury, I dialed Ehan's number. But it was Chloe who answered the phone call. Grace, the day before yesterday, Ehan said my birthday party was unpleasant, so today he insisted on making it up to me with a new one. We're celebrating right now at the city's finest restaurant. We can't invite you this time, though, lest you get angry and faint again. So had known I fainted that day. He just pretended not to see it. But I still can't tell you the password. After all, the owners aren't home. What if you, an outsider, go in and something of ours goes missing? I hung up the phone call immediately and entered the date of my angry birthday. Sure enough, with a creak, the door unlocked. Upon entering, my first thought was that I had come to the wrong place. Grace, is this still your house? It's changed so much. That's right, Chloe must have taken advantage of my absence these past few days to make major changes to the house. The potted plants I had on the balcony were gone, pots and all. The fish in the aquarium had disappeared, and the walls were covered with their sweet photos together. I rushed into the bedroom, opened the closet, and found all my clothes gone. In their place was a whole row of provocative lingerie. None of it was mine. I pulled open the bottom drawer of the closet with trembling hands. Inside was my most important lucky charm. It was the only keepsake my mom left me when she passed away. And knew how important this lucky charm was to me, yet it had been thrown away. I remembered when my mom was seriously ill years ago. She still dragged her weakened body to get this lucky charm for me. She said it would keep me safe, and prevent the illness from taking my life. And said she hadn't had this lucky charm, which was why she couldn't defeat the illness. She also said, as long as the lucky charm is here, Mom is here. Mom will always be with you, with the lucky charm. But now, the lucky charm was gone. Olivia kicked the closet forcefully, cursing through gritted teeth. Scumbags. She didn't offer much comfort, instead installing the miniature camera. Who knew when Ehan and Chloe might return? After installing cameras at the foot of the bed and on the ceiling lamp, the sound of the door opening reached us. Quite clever of you to guess the password, Ehan said coldly. I didn't bother responding. I only cared about my lucky charm. Where's my lucky charm? Do you know that was left to me by my mom? Yes, I know. I threw it away. When we left, Chloe said it was an eyesore, so I threw it away. But it should still be in the trash can downstairs. If you go look now, you might still find it. If you go any later, I can't say for sure. I pushed Ehan aside and ran out. As soon as I stepped outside, tears streamed down my face against my will. Ehan, how could you treat Grace like this? Don't you know she's pregnant with your child? Why are you still doing this to her? You're not even human. What? Say that again? Grace is pregnant with my child? Olivia, are you sure you're not lying to me? What good would lying to you do me? I just pity Grace. With that, she also ran out. Ehan, what's so great about being pregnant? I can get pregnant too. How about, we now, saying this, her sensual red lips pressed against his, but unexpectedly pushed Chloe away. Chloe, Grace is pregnant with my child after all. I might not care about her fate, but this child must be kept. Why? Can't I just have another one for you? Listen to me, this child must be kept. I'll explain why later. With that, he also ran out. At the waste disposal site, I frantically searched for my lucky charm. Piles of trash, plastic bags floating around, and rotting food emitted a foul odor. But I didn't care about any of that, sifting through it bit by bit, with Olivia holding a light for me. My clothes were already soaked with grime, and my hands were covered in filth, with a few faint bleeding cuts. Grace, stop looking. Come back with me. Tomorrow, I'll send someone to find it. Ehan had appeared beside me at some point. You can go back if you want. I'm not leaving until I find my lucky charm. With a rustling sound, Ehan, the CEO, even started digging through the trash. Olivia whispered in my ear, Grace, I'm sorry, I accidentally mentioned your pregnancy just now, then followed us out. But it's so strange. Why does he care so much about your pregnancy? Just now, I distinctly heard Chloe say she'd have another child for him, but Ehan refused her. My hands continued to frantically sift through the trash. But a cold smile played on my lips. I knew his purpose for doing this all too well. He just wanted a child of his own to carry on his lineage. As for why he couldn't have a child with Chloe, it was because he couldn't. After I got pregnant, I noticed he was frequently spending nights away from home during that period. And at the time, I loved him so much that I was afraid he'd have another child with someone else. So I tampered with his food. The result was as I expected. Although he brought Chloe home, he couldn't have his own child with her. The child in my womb was his only child, and the only reason he cared about me. It was 5 in the morning, and I had searched all night but couldn't find my lucky charm. Just as I was losing all hope, the cleaning lady nearby said, Young lady, are you looking for this? Saying this, she dangled the lucky charm in her hand. The lucky charm was so blindingly bright in her hand, piercing my eyes and hurting my heart. I bit my lip, holding back my tears, forcing myself not to cry. After thanking the cleaning lady, Olivia helped me up, and we started to leave. Grace, give me another chance. I promise I'll change. I didn't even look at him, pulling Olivia along faster. Ehan was about to catch up when his cell phone rang. No need to guess, it was Chloe calling. And watched Olivia and me walk farther and farther away, but he never followed. Because as soon as he answered the phone, Chloe's voice came through, Ehan, where are you? I'm so scared being home alone. Back at Olivia's place, the surveillance footage happened to show Ehan and Chloe. The two of them were being intensely intimate in the bedroom. But I didn't care about anything else and saved the video. Ehan, why do you want Grace's child? Can't I just have another one for you? You don't understand. This child is mine, after all. What about after the baby is born? Will you just abandon me then? No, I won't. After the baby is born, I'll find a way to get the child, and then I'll divorce Grace. Then, the three of us will enjoy a happy life, and she won't get a single penny. Chloe, listen to Ehan. With that, they started being intimate again. And after getting the recording, I didn't make any rash moves, as it wasn't the best time yet. Interestingly enough, one day I saw Ehan and Chloe arguing on the surveillance footage. Only after checking the surveillance footage did I realize that Ehan had come home from work to a shocking sight. Papers and snacks were scattered messily on the table, stained with coffee rings, and food crumbs were wedged in the sofa. Even more unacceptable was that last night's dishes were still in the sink, with greasy water and floating vegetable scraps. Normally, when I was around, Ehan didn't have to touch any of these chores. I kept everything perfectly organized. But now that I was gone, and Chloe was the type who never lifts a finger for chores, all the housework fell to Ehan. As time went on, it was inevitable that conflicts would erupt between them. Chloe, the house is such a mess. Can't you clean up a bit? I'm not with you to do housework. Besides, if you love me so much, how could you bear to make me do chores? Finally, their argument escalated into a physical fight. And I, watching through the screen, snorted with laughter. That same day, Ehan came over again. He was carrying large bags of nutritional supplements, claiming it was to spend more time with the baby in my belly, to build a bond. I couldn't be bothered with him. I just quietly edited the video footage, preparing to give him a big surprise later. Ehan, let's talk openly and honestly. I know you want the child. Give me the house, plus 10 million in cash. You'll have custody of the child after they're born. Grace, it was all my fault before. I must have been out of my mind. I promise I'll live a good life with you from now on, and I'll never be cheating round with other women again. Life without you has been so hard. He probably wanted me to go back and be his housekeeper. Dream on. Just keep up the act. Grace, these past few days you've been gone, I've realized that the person I truly love isn't Chloe, it's you. I did love Chloe before, to the point where I mistakenly thought I still loved her. But only recently did I realize I truly can't live without you. Grace, come back. If I hadn't known his intentions from the surveillance footage, I probably would have believed him again. Returning isn't impossible, but you need to show your sincerity. What kind of sincerity do you want? If I come back, how will I know you won't bring the other woman home again? Who knows if you'll kick me out again? Unless you completely transfer ownership of this house to me, and give me all the cash in the house. Ehan nodded and agreed without hesitation. Because in his eyes, the house and cash combined were only about 10 to 20 million, and his media company was preparing to go public soon, at which point his net worth would be far more than tens of millions. So, he still considered it a gain. I already knew all about his little schemes from the surveillance footage, and I definitely wouldn't give him another chance to go public. And so, Ehan gave me the house and all the cash in the house. And I promised him I would go back the next day. That night, as Olivia and I packed my luggage, she asked me, Grace, are you really going to go back and live with him? How could I? I'm just going back to put my plan into action. The next day, when I arrived home, the room's decor had been restored to its previous state. It was clear that Ehan's attitude was quite sincere. Ehan, even though I'm back, only I can live here. You're pregnant, I can take care of you if I'm here. If you stay, I'll leave. If I need something, I'll call you myself. Ehan was reluctant but left anyway. After locking the door, I removed the miniature camera, as I had installed earlier. After all, I planned to sell this house. Then, I contacted a real estate agent and listed the house for a low price. After everything was done, I felt a sense of relief. Now, all I had to do was wait for the baby's birth. But coincidentally, one time Ehan came over to deliver nutritional supplements, and just after I opened the door, I fainted. When I woke up, I was already lying in a hospital room. Ehan was holding my medical report. What is this? Why didn't you tell me? How long were you going to keep this from me? Why should I tell you? If I told you, I'd probably die even faster. Ehan opened his mouth but said nothing. I relished seeing him flustered. Grace, no matter the cost, we have to cure your illness. After all, you're due in a few months. Even now, Ehan still only cared about the child in my womb. And anything he cared about, I'd deliberately prevent him from having. Over the next period, Ehan used all his connections to find renowned doctors in the field to treat me. And under his treatment, my condition gradually improved. As my condition steadily improved, Chloe couldn't sit still. Because only if I died could she truly become Mrs. Ehan. That day, just after Olivia left my hospital room, Chloe sneaked in. Unlike before, she looked utterly bloodless, with vacant eyes, and was even wearing a hospital gown. It was clear she had been utterly miserable during this time. Grace, what did you do to Ehan? Why has he ignored me since that day? Did you lure him away again? That's just blaming others for your own failures. Infuriated by my words, Chloe picked up the fruit basket from the table and hurled it at my stomach. Though I had a large belly at the moment, I used the blanket to block the flying fruit basket. Seeing she missed, Chloe walked over, intending to finish the job. But before she could reach me, I landed a solid slap across her face. She was stunned by my slap again. Seizing the moment while she was dazed, I yelled, "Assault! Assault! Someone's attacking a pregnant woman." Ehan was the first to rush in, even before the doctors. Perhaps because he cared so much about the child in my womb, when he saw me clutching my stomach, crouched in pain by the foot of the bed, his first reaction was to backhand Chloe across the face. "Chloe, how many times have I warned you? This is my child. Why the hell don't you listen? Then, I also feigned weakness, mimicking Chloe's earlier theatrics, and cried out. She threw the fruit basket at my baby. My stomach hurts so much. My baby, are you okay? I deliberately created the illusion that the baby might be hurt in front of Ehan. After all, he wanted this child too much. In reality, I was perfectly fine, and was pulled away by Ehan for a lecture amidst my dramatic performance. What he did to her, I didn't know. Gradually, I figured out Ehan's psychology. The baby's importance was greater than Chloe's, and Chloe's was greater than mine. A few days later, the real estate agent called to tell me that the house I had listed had sold. Exactly 8 million, no more, no less. This money would be enough for my child and me to live on. At this point, I still had 2 weeks until my due date. During these 2 weeks, Ehan never left my side, only disappearing for a while when I fell asleep. That night, as soon as Ehan left, I had Olivia follow him. Honestly, I was very curious. If he was willing to stay by my side every day, why would he leave when I was asleep? Olivia trailed Ehan to the hospital's underground parking garage. She saw Ehan expertly walk to Sector B and slip into a pink car. Then, the car began to rock rhythmically. And the owner of this car was Chloe. Olivia told me this news later, saying she was afraid I wouldn't be able to handle it in my condition at the time. She worried that knowing would upset me, affect my mood, and potentially cause complications during labor. But an accident still happened, though it was an unexpected one for Ehan. On the day of the delivery, Ehan stayed glued to the door of the delivery room, eagerly awaiting the birth of his heir. Little did he know, a video was going viral online at that very moment. In the video, I was sitting in Olivia's room, my eyes red and swollen from crying. Hello everyone, I'm Grace, Ehan's wife. I've been married to Ehan for 3 years and devoted my youth to him, but cheated on me while I was pregnant. He brought the other woman home to do indecent things, and he's even planning to make me leave with nothing after I give birth, not giving me a single penny. When you see this video, I'll be in labor at the hospital. I don't know what will happen to me after the baby is born. Please help me, everyone. Help my child. Following that, multiple videos began circulating on third-party websites, all exposing Ehan and Chloe's scandalous affairs. Meanwhile, Ehan was still joyfully awaiting the baby's arrival. Chloe was the first to see the video. She only found out after her boss tagged her in the company chat group. Her boss's words were harsh, saying the company absolutely wouldn't tolerate such shameless individuals. Soon after, Ehan also received messages from his employees. Mr. Ehan, a huge problem has occurred. Our company is being targeted by the authorities. Its market value plummeted, all because of your negative videos online. They're saying someone who abandons his own wife can't run a good company. We've already received warning notices from multiple departments. Please think of a solution quickly, Mr. Ehan, or the company will truly be ruined. Ehan also realized the seriousness of the situation. He wanted to leave, but he couldn't bear to abandon his unborn child in the delivery room. So he simply made desperate phone calls in the hallway, hoping to use his connections to suppress the matter. However, he underestimated the power of public opinion, especially for a public figure like himself. After hitting several dead ends, Ehan directly cursed at the person on the other end of the line. Cursing, I'm in trouble now and you're not helping me, after all those things you made me do. And all this incriminating information Ehan blurted out was recorded by the hallway cameras, becoming an unexpected find for the police. When rushed to the hospital to see Ehan, he had just hung up his 18th phone call. When the two of them met, they weren't intimately affectionate like before. Instead, they glared at each other like enemies, their eyes burning with rage. Ehan, what the hell is wrong with you, insisting on such crazy stunts? Chloe shrieked. I told you not to record it, but you insisted it would be thrilling. Well, is it thrilling now? The whole internet knows about us. Ehan retorted, how dare you blame me? I told you not to upload the video to the cloud storage, it could be hacked, but you wouldn't listen. So, happy now? It turned out these two had been getting too wild and private, mistakenly thinking my video was their own leaked information. Ehan, I've been so wronged, and you dare to blame me? Chloe screamed. I'm going to fight you. With that, she raised her hand and lunged to scratch Ehan's face. Ehan, after all, loved this woman and didn't want to get physical with her. Leaning against the staircase railing, he simply dodged. Chloe, however, who had charged forward with all her might, wasn't so lucky. Due to inertia, she instantly lost her balance, screaming as she plummeted down. As she screamed, Ehan only managed to grab Chloe's skirt hem, but it was pointless. Then a dull thud echoed from the stairwell. Ehan didn't dare to look down. Because, at the time, to give Chloe a quiet environment for childbirth, the delivery room was on the highest floor of the hospital, the 18th floor. And just like that, Chloe was gone. Ehan collapsed to the ground, his eyes vacant. He even forgot to call for help. After an unknown amount of time, a sound came from the delivery room. Wah, 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 the sound of a baby crying. The crying brought Ehan back to his senses a little. He brushed the dust off his pants and shakily walked toward the delivery room. Inside the delivery room, Olivia was holding the newborn baby. "Grace, it's a boy," she said. "What are you going to name him?" "Let's call him Ethan." Ethan. Remembering our beginnings, Ehan said from outside the door, walking towards Olivia. But before he could reach the child, police officers burst in and pinned him to the ground. He didn't even get a chance to hold his child. Someone had found Chloe's body in the stairwell and called the police. Based on the surveillance footage, the police easily identified Ehan as the indirect culprit. Even the incriminating information revealed during Ehan's phone call was confirmed, piece by piece. Ehan was taken away just like that. I don't know how many years he was sentenced to. I just heard him shouting, "Grace, I was wrong. I was wrong." A month later, I completed the discharge papers with Olivia by my side. "Grace, what are your plans now?" Olivia asked. "I'm going to quit my job and take the child back to my hometown." "Why go back to your hometown?" "Ehan is already in prison. It'd be better for you to stay here. This city has brought me too much heartache. I don't want to stay here anymore." On a bright morning, I took Ethan and embarked on the journey back home. The train slowly started moving, and the scenery outside the window began to blur. I gazed into the distance, my heart filled with both hope for the future and a farewell to the past. I knew this journey wouldn't be smooth, but I had the confidence and courage to face all the unknowns and challenges. And the city that had left me with so many scars was gradually fading from my sight, becoming a sealed memory. Thank you for watching today's story. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your views, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.